What's up, Tube? Welcome to Guido's Chop Shop, the second best gel crushing channel on the tubes. And today we've got the new Ausgel Ultra Elite gels. Now, the very moment that these hit the market, I had my inbox just filled with messages going, have you done a test? Are you doing a test? When are you going to do a test? Have you done a test? Have you done a test on them yet? Have you tested them? What do you think? Have they tested? Whew, dude, I've only been out like a couple of days at this stage, and I'm like, you alright? Just give me a chance. Last time I did the Ultra gels, I did a clickbaity title that was something along the lines of ultras are too hard, because I needed to get a bigger scale, because the ultras were literally too hard for my small kitchen scale to measure the crush force. It still blows my mind to this day, the amount of people that I get like commenting going, they're not too hard, you're a pussy, what are you talking about? It's like, he obviously didn't watch the video, because I never said they were too... Yeah, anyway, I feel if I've got to explain the joke, then the point is lost and it's gone over your head. If I have a weird clickbaity title on this video, do I need to explain it? Let's grow some gels. Alright. Oh dear. So, ripping into them for the first time. Oh, no. Yeah, that's... Oh, well, you know. That's what happens, right? When you got packets that have got these, you know, pre-placed cutty slots. They always cut along the slot. What have I done here? Cut, take two, opening the bag. Who'd have thought? Oh, there we go. Alright. So we have got some gels. Let's get some out on the table here. Woo! There they are. Look at them go. Hey, look at them all rolling away. How not level is my desk? Alright, here we are with a few on the bench, and I'll just start with a measurement of what one or two of them are before they're grown. Alright, 3 mils. You can see that because my thing's not in focus. 3 millimeters in diameter before grown. They do have a similar look and feel to the original ultras when they weren't grown, so let's get them into some water. I feel like by this stage in our lives, we're not questioning whether or not these are hard or how hard they are. Well, we kind of are. Everyone wants to know how hard they are, so I will get the Crushmatron 3000 out. But I feel by this stage we're not really super interested in the hardness. I mean, we do want to know how hard they are, but we know they're going to be hard. I mean, they've produced hard stuff in the past. The ultras are the hardest gels on the market, without any question. I don't think anyone argues about that. They've always been the hardest gels on the market. It's just that some people choose not to use the ultras because some of the other gels, like the AKAs, tend to be a little bit more consistent in size. So my interest in these gels is not so much how hard they are, but how consistent they are. And there's a whole lot of little theories and techniques going around where you time the amount of time that the gels grow in the water so that you can get them to be the size that you want and all that sort of stuff. So what I'm actually going to do now is I'm going to grow maybe 3 different batches of the Ultra Elites, and I'm gonna do like a 3-hour grow and a 4-hour grow, and then I'm gonna get a bottle. I'm just gonna leave it overnight, growing for I don't know. I'll just leave it for overnight and see what differences we get between different grow times. Alright, so I've put 3 scoops of the Ultra Elites into each bottle, and now what I'm going to do, I think I'll do this one, I'll do 2.5 hours, this one I'll do 4 hours, and this one I'll just leave overnight. I think they're the timing intervals that I feel are probably going to be most useful for testing purposes. Alright, so I'll start by filling this bottle with room temperature bloop, 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 demineralized water. And I will come back tomorrow morning and then I'll put some water into this one for 1.5 hours, and then I'll put some water into this one for 2.5 hours. Yeah, that works out. My maths is correct. So put water in there for 1.5 hours, then fill this one up. Then I'll have the end result will be a 2.5 hour bottle, a 4-hour bottle, and an overnight bottle. See you in the morning. Good morning. Here we are. These have been going overnight. You can see they're probably ready to go. 3 scoops is exactly enough to fill this entire bottle. It's perfect. Still a head of water in there, so perfect amount. Alright, so I'm gonna whack water in these and I'll go I'll set an alarm for 1.5 hours on that, so we'll get those ones going. You helping, Ram? Alright, so this is going to be the overnight. This one's going to be 4 hours. What are you doing, man? And this one will be the 2.5. Ram, trying to film here. Alright, time's up on that 1.5 hour timer. So I'm adding water to 2.5 hour bottle. Alright, see you in another 2.5 hours. Alright, so here we are, another 2.5 hours later. So these have been 4 hours, these have been 2.5 hours, and these have been overnight. And you can see, maybe if I tilt them a bit, maybe it's not obvious from the angle that you guys are on, but from where I'm sitting, I can see that the overnight ones, even though I put like the same amount of scoops in each bottle, I can see the overnight ones pretty much fill the entire bottle, whereas the 2.5 ones are down to here. So I'm going to quickly empty this water out so that I don't grow any further, and then we'll do some tests. Okay, so I've drained off all the water now, or at least most of it, and there might be a little bit of residual in the bottom still. Not really. I've dried it off as best I can, and we now have 3 different bottles of different grow times: 2.5 hours, 4 hours, and overnight. So I mean, already I can tell that there is probably going to be a difference in size because of the levels in the bottles, just from what I can see. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to run them through the size sorter that I built. If you watch my other video, I'll show you how to do it. Pretty simple. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna run each of the different grow times through the sorter. Okay, so I've set up my sorter here. I've got the gap starting on this first bucket, 6.8, and then move that. By the time it gets to the second bucket, it should be 7.0, and then the third bucket should be anything over 7.22. I think it's actually should be about 7.3. Let me just take another measure. .25 is just at the start of this bucket. So if I put these like that, basically, in theory, if what we're expecting to be true, we should get most of the gels falling into this center bucket. Or maybe not. We'll see. Let's see. Okay, I'm going to start with the 2.5 hour bottle. I'm not going to film the whole process, obviously, because that'll be way too boring, but I'll cut back once the whole bottle has been through the sorting process. As you can see, there they start going down the slide into the buckets. Alright. Okay, here we are sometime later, and surprising results. So in the okay, so there was a few gels sitting along the top of this. Okay, that was interesting. So I didn't notice that. There must have been a small amount of gels that were just on the edge between the small size and the 7.0 to 7.2 range. So all those gels that just fell on the floor were probably about, I don't know, maybe 6.9 or something, or somewhere around there. A lot in the 7.0 to 7.2 bucket, and also a large amount, maybe not as much as in the middle bucket, but certainly quite a lot more than I expected. And these were the least grow. They're the 2.5 hour grow time, so I kind of expected them more to be down the small side of the scale. So finding them in the 7.2 and up, 7.25 and up bucket is surprising to me. Well, I'll on to the next batch. Alright, so that's the 4 hour grow sorted, except for this one. It's still chilling there. Oh, there he goes. That is one thing I have noticed with, it's not just with these Ultra Elites, it's with the original Ultras as well. They don't slide down my slide very well, but seems to have a similar result. We've got a fairly medium amount that landed in the bigger bucket, but most of them seem to be in this middle bucket. Looks like a very, very, very similar amount to what I got from the 2.5 hour grow. I did get a few more undersized ones than I did from the other one, which is maybe just luck of the draw, but on the the middle tub there seems to be holding the most. Alright, now we've got the gels which grew overnight. Interestingly, very, very, very similar result. Majority in the 7.0 to 7.2 bucket. Few in the 7.3 to 7.5, and not very many in the undersize, below 7.0 or below. Maybe a few. Yeah, there's a few. Maybe a few. I don't know. Is that more or less? Either way, the majority is definitely in this middle bucket, which has been the same for the 2.5 hour grow, the 4 hour grow, and the just left overnight. So that tells us a few things, I think. Okay, so in an interesting turn of events, I've found that whether you grow for a 2.5 hour controlled grow or 4 hour controlled grow, or just leave them overnight, doesn't really matter. It doesn't change anything. Like, this is the amount of 7.1, 7.2 gels I got overnight. 7.1, 7.2 overnight. 7.1, 7.2, sorry, 4 hours, not overnight. And 7.1, 7.2, 2.5 hours. This is the 7.25 millimeter or higher amount from overnight, just a small amount in that little bottle. This is 7.25 and above from the 4 hour grow, and this is the 7.25 millimeter and above from the 2.5 hour grow. So consistency wise, on average, mostly about 7.1 to 7.2 millimeters in diameter, regardless of whether you control grow or not. Yeah, interesting. I know a lot of people control grow. Um, Pointless, as far as I can see. So, very interesting. This has taken me all day to do, believe it or not. So I'm gonna have to call it a night here, and I will continue with another video where I crush them and see how hard they are. Thanks for watching. Peace.